Welcome grade 8s. This is Mr. Graywall and
Mr. Menikuchi.
Okay, we're going to do a quick review, or we're going to show you how the VCarve works. We're going to do it in 3 steps. So when you open up the VCarve on your computer, some of you might get this screen and some it'll have a password.
It'll need a password or a code number.
Yeah, and we'll put that on the board as when it comes up. But most of you should see this screen. When you see this screen, please don't hit OK. Just go down and click on cancel. Cancel that. And we're going to start a new project. So the first thing you need to do is go to create a new file. You create a new file. The dimensions that you're going to punch in here, they're pretty crucial. So make sure you get this part right. Okay. The first dimension that you're going to have here is it's going to be 12 inches. 1, 2, 12 inches. Okay. For X, the Y is 3.5 inch. Okay. If yours doesn't have 3.5 inch, make sure you change it to 3.5 inch. The thickness of the material that we're going to use, once again, this is very crucial that you make sure that it is 0.5, that is half an inch. Right, Mr. Mendes?
That's right.
Okay,
if it's not the right size, then we're going to have problems when we go and machine it.
Okay, good. Yeah, because the machine is going to recognize how thick the wood or piece of material you're using. We're going to use half an inch. Another point, as I said, everything is crucial at this point. You need to make sure that X and Y origin is at bottom left.
Bottom left, it's got the little dot in there so that you can tell that that is the correct spot.
Okay, good. Last thing here is it should be in inches because that's what we're working with here. Once you got all this, you press OK, and this is what you will see. This is the screen you should see on your computer.
That white box will basically show you what your wood is going to be in sample size. So that's where you're going to actually be working on your whole system.
Okay. So next step, we'll put some text in, and obviously it has to be school appropriate. You know, nothing that's not school appropriate. You don't want to create something and then we cut it on the machine, Mr. Menikuchi or myself or Mr. Powell, and we see that it's not school appropriate. We're just going to put it under a saw and cut it up. So there's no point of you going through all that. So let's start. We'll get the text. Okay. Go to draw text and write your name, write welcome, whatever you want to write. Anything school appropriate again. Okay. So I'm going to write our school name. Okay. Once you got that, now we have to choose where do we want this text written. Okay. So you bring the mouse cursor onto the board where you want the text written. So notice there's a tiny T by the cursor. So wherever you click that, that's where your text is going to end up. So we click that there. Okay, we have our text. And I'm going to go apply. Okay, and close. Okay, now we have our text. At this point, if it's pink, that means it's selected. To deselect it, just click anywhere.
Correct.
Right? So, and to select it once again, just go on to the line. Like if clicking it here or clicking it here is not going to work. It has to be on the line. So make sure you're on the line. Click, and it will. If it turns pink, it is it's selected.
Selected. You can make any changes that you need at that point.
Okay. So let's try making some changes. Let's see if we can make it bigger or smaller. So once it's selected, if you want to center it, it's pretty simple. If you go, once it's turned pink, if you go to this icon where it says center the material, you click on that, it will self-center. If you just want it centered up or down, you go here. If you need to go center it from side to side,
you go there.
You go there. Okay, good. So we're getting somewhere now. Next step is we need to see how to make it bigger or smaller. So you need to click, so if it's turned pink, go back to the line again, anywhere, any of these lines, and click again. It's a double click, but it's not a double click where you're doing this type of click. It has to be single, and then give it a couple seconds, 3 seconds, and then click again. You should see this icon right here. Okay, this icon is very important. So once you see this icon, that means now you can hold the left mouse button and you can move it. Okay, so you can move it anywhere you want, anywhere obviously on that board. So if I move it, so right now I don't have that icon. We're not talking about this icon. You have to have this right here. So make sure you have that icon before you start moving it. Okay, so that's one thing. And now to size it, just bring it to the corner here, and you can size it. Okay, size it to whatever you want. How big or small you want, you can do that.
Now, Mr. G, why can we, if you make a mistake and you move it to the wrong spot, how can you bring it back to where it was before?
Okay, oh good, good. I didn't think of that. So it's pretty simple, just like any other text that we work with. There's a undo button up there, so go to that and it will come back to the original or whatever you did previous step, and you can keep going back. You can keep going back to the very first step.
Just like on your regular computer screen where you hit the backward arrow at the top, and you can keep going back as many times as you have to.
Good. So we have our Frankhurtt. Well, I need to, another thing I wanted to show was how to rotate this. So there are blue markers on all four sides here. Okay, so if you take the mouse cursor there, you are able to rotate the letters. Okay, so we rotate it. Well, I don't like that. Personally, I don't like that, so I go back to where it was. And right now I want it centered from up and down. It doesn't matter from side to side for me. I want it centered up and down. So as I told you before, just go to the icon here and click on that, and it will center it from up and down.
Perfect.
Right? And so we have that. But I don't like the font.
No, I don't like that font either.
So let's try a new font. So make sure it's selected. It has to be pink in that color. Okay, and then you go back to the same text, draw text. Okay, you have Frankhurtt there. If you want to change it to something else, you don't like written your name, or you don't want welcome written there, you want to write something else, so you can change it here. So let's say I want Hornets. I don't want Frankhurtt, I want Hornets. Okay, enter, apply. There we go. We have our Hornets there.
There you go.
So you could change that. Okay, so let's change our font now. I don't like that font. Let's try it.
And there's thousands of fonts on there. It's got a long list. So
and you can download fonts too.
That's right.
So you can download fonts too, different language if you want. You can download that as well. It's any font that is in your Word document, it will show up here.
That's right.
So we're safe there. So
and you can see what they look like in bigger print. So you can pick any one of them and just play around, see what you like.
So let's, should we try that, Mr. Managuchi?
Sure, try that.
Let's try that. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go apply, and it will show you what it would look like. So, you know, it looked better when we selected that. Now I don't like it.
I don't like that either, no.
So let's try something different. I mean, you can change it to bold, italic, you know. You can justify how you want it, right, left. It's just like Word document. You all know how to type, and, you know, so that shouldn't be a problem. Let's try this one. Let's apply that. Oh, that looks nice.
That looks pretty nice. Right? Yeah, it looks really nice.
That looks nice. Okay, so we'll choose that. I'm going to close this. Once again, if you want to deselect what you're working with, you just click on the side. It will go black. That means it's not selected anymore. I need to select it again, so I go back there. Click again. I would like to make it bigger. I'll go to that icon right there, and I'll make it bigger. Okay, we have, and I want to center it. Once again, there we go. We have centered it. Okay, so with this, if you need to move the letters closer or further, you could do that too, right? I mean, if you look here, I would like to move these further.
Further apart.
They're too close.
A little too close. Yeah.
So once again, you need to select that. So the whole thing is selected. And if you go to the icon where it says Edit Text Spacing, it's right here. So go there, click on that, and you can go between the letters and see how it's changing. It's changing to a V and an A.
Yes, right.
So you go there, and if you click left mouse,
it gets smaller.
It gets closer to each other, right?
Yeah.
If you hold Shift down and then click, it's going to go further. So you can change the spacing of your letters if you need to. Okay. Another cool thing about this text spacing I'll show you just in a minute. Okay, another cool thing about it is if you go on the top here, see how it turns into upside down?
A little arc.
Arc.
Yeah.
So if you hold it there, you can change
The design you want.
but you can change the shape of it.
Yeah.
Right? So you can change that. Maybe that's how you want Hornets written or your name written. Okay, so you can change that. So at this point, we would like you to just play around with it and make sure that you like the text.
You can pull it as well. There's different ways you can do different things. You know, make it real fancy.
So play with this and make sure that you like what you have. And before you close it, once you find something that you like, make sure you save it. To save, go to File. Okay, and you want to save as. You want to save as for the first time. Okay, save as. And go to Desktop and give it a name. Okay, give it a name. I'm going to use Mr. Manakuchi's first initial and mine.
Perfect.
It turns out to be MG. I don't know if you have some cars, they're called MGs too, right?
Yeah, MGs, yes.
So we're going to name that and hit save. And from now on, if I make any changes and that's what I like, I don't have to go save as. All I will do is just go up here where it says save, click on that. Any change I do, it'll save.
Just like in doing any of your work in your documents.
Okay, so try that and then we'll go from there.
And you would want to save quite frequently in case there is a power outage. So you got to make sure of that, right?
So get your letters done and then we'll do our next step.
That's right.
Okay?
Thank you.